Well, good afternoon. We are getting a pretty late start on LOTRO today, but we did have something we needed to clear up. Apparently, sometime in May, there was an email that went out to people who are on the server of Ithel saying that the server was being shut down in June. Well, I didn't find out that the server was being shut down until, last week? And yeah, I know. It's like, well, they sent out an email. How could you not have known? Well, let's just say I had some medical stuff that I was more preoccupied with back in April, May, June, July. And as a result, I wasn't in any headspace to have to deal with emails about the game. In fact, I wasn't in much of a headspace to deal with much anything. So, I reached out to Standing Stone Games and asked them for help, and they were very kind. They got back to me today and said, oh, these are the steps you take to transfer your characters to another server, and your shared storage will be transferred, the character storage will be transferred, or their vaults, and since you had a premium house, you will get refunded the writs you spent on that. So I did that, and I did have to wait a little while. My account was locked out until the process was finished, and I'm assuming it finished somewhere between the time I started and now. And yeah, it worked. I now have 3 new characters have joined the cast in this world. And oh my god, my shared storage is a mess. Everything from the other account storage transferred over, and I am now like 152 slots over storage. I guess I should consider myself very fortunate that they allowed that to happen. My housing storage, for my personal housing storage, is also close to 60 slots over storage. And again, I'm very grateful that they allowed that to happen. But the good news is everything worked a-okay. The characters are here, their storages are here. The writs that I spent on that premium house have arrived in the main character's bag, and I can see about getting them set up and clearing up that storage. Now, we are at Buckland. Shall we get started? Alright. Hello, Sheriff. You would like to speak to me? Okay, so do we need to join the Bounders? See, technically this is a...
Might I have a word with you?
This is a Shire quest. Okay, so we don't need to take that one. It's not technically a breed quest, it's a Shire quest, and we haven't done anything in the Shire yet other than Festival.
Might I have a word with you?
Hey there, stranger. I'll warn you right now, you ought to stay away from the old forest. The beasts there are all riled up. They've even gone and attacked hobbits near the old forest tunnel. But, hold on. You seem like the adventuring sort. Think you could lend us a hand? Us Bounders came up with a brew of sorts that'll dissuade most things from approaching. All you need to do is set up these jars along the road to the bonfire glade. It'll take a while for the smell to set in, so don't drop your guard in the forest, and don't breathe in too deeply. Okay, so we have our first quest into the old forest. Or I should say our first Buckland quest into the old forest. And we have a whole bunch of folk here that would like to speak to us. Let's start with the lady. Hello, Ella. Ha, that's funny. I have a character named Ella.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Adzo Haybank, my employer, aims to have fare to serve men as well as hobbits. Trumick has people looking for mushrooms to serve hobbit fare, the envy of the four farthings. The fare for men comes from the bountiful boars and bears prowling the brie fields. You should find the boars and bears north and east of the gates of Buckland, between the Brandy Hills and the borders of the Old Forest. Gather some meat, then return to me. Okay, so we need some bear and boar meat for her. And Trumrick,
Good day. Might
hello.
I have a word with you?
Hello. I see that you are a person who knows your way around the wilder parts of the world, and so the offer I have for you will surely make your heart leap. I represent Adzo Haybank, an enterprising fellow from Buckland, with a grand vision, a vision of building an inn along the Great East Road. He dispatched myself and these men beside me in search of willing folk to assist him with his dream. I seek mushrooms found along the banks of the Brandywine River to the north, mushrooms to fill and satisfy the belly with a bit of Shire hospitality. Be wary if you go, though, for I have heard tell of slimy slugs and nasty vermin in the area. Would you collect some mushrooms for me? Sure, we'll go gather your mushrooms for you. And Mr. Reedy here. Hello, Mr. Reedy.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
My employer, Adzo Haybanks Inn, is to be a blend of brie culture and hobbit sensibility. He asked me to employ folks to acquire items that will display the nature surrounding brie to bring a lodge feel to the inn. I am prepared to pay those willing to do some hunting for suitable objects. North and east of town, between the Brandy Hill and the border of the Old Forest, you will find bears, boars, and wolves. Adzo has asked me to obtain a bundle of coarse bear furs, pristine boar's heads, and pristine bear corpses and wolf corpses suitable for stuffing. If you return these to me, I will pay you well. Okay. He wants to decorate with dead animals. Well, that's his right. Doesn't sound like my type of decor. And it seems that the friendly crafter has struck again. They noticed that my crafting tools are low level and have offered to make me some new ones. And they refuse any form of payment. I have asked a couple of times on 2 different characters because they actually caught me off guard on a hobbit that I have as well. And yes, they told me that they do not take any payment for their crafting. They're very, very generous people. I do appreciate them a lot. Like I said, they people of my own heart, because when I'm able to, I like to do the same thing. Now let's gather the mushrooms. It looks like we've out-leveled the slugs. Good, because I didn't want to have to deal with those today. Well, we're halfway done with the mushrooms. Yeah, it's people like them that make this game worth continuing to play. So, I mean, there's been over the years numerous people that have been very helpful, kind, generous. Some of them I've met in kinships. Some of them I've met just doing random instances together. And some of them, have come and gone, which, well, I guess that is the way of life, not just of gaming, but of life in general. People come and go out of your life. But some of them have stuck around and become dear friends, and I absolutely adore them. And not to say that there hasn't been a fair share of people who weren't the greatest people to be around. But I'd say, relatively speaking to other games, that number has been pretty low. So I feel very fortunate that the LOTRO community is as kind and generous as it is. I guess the only thing I really rather wish is that people would get along more, realize that not every little thing has to be an argument or a fight. Of course, that might be a little much to ask. I don't know. I guess it's something worth hoping for, that one day and people will realize they have more in common than not. How much, what do we have left here? So we got the mushrooms. We have looks like we have to collect more bear haunches, and we need more of everything here. So we need to kill some more bears, wolves, and boars. I think boars. Nope, that's the wrong one. No, we just need the bears and wolves. Okay. Well, somebody's doing a pony skirmish as a raid. That ought to be interesting. Which reminds me, I did promise to take y'all through an actual skirmish that is a full skirmish and not just the tutorial. I think we'll take a little time out of our questing schedule to do that tomorrow. So y'all can see what a full skirmish actually looks like. Alright. Oh, that's right. We determined we don't need any more boars. We just need the bears and the wolves. Oh, we accidentally got a boar anyway. Okay. Me targeting the next enemy and attacking sometimes does not work out so well. I've had instances where I have, let's just say, bit off more than I can chew. Translation, I either had to run or I died. I don't want to kill the baby bear. Come on, give me some bears to kill that aren't babies. Let's see. Can I? Oh, I have a nice thick area that I can do this in. Okay. So I don't have to do it right close to Buckland. So yeah, all that in there. That way, that's all old forest. And if I remember right in the lore, the old forest at one point was part of Fangorn. Of course, that would mean that that was a huge forest at one time. Because if we look on the map here, I mean, here's Breland. Okay, there's the old forest right here. And if we go scroll out of the map and look for ourselves, it's the Great East Road, so we want, there's the Brandywine. So there is probably right about where the old forest is. But if you scroll out, do we have to scroll out further? Let's see, where is Fangorn? Fangorn is in Rovanian. So here in West Rohan is Fangorn Forest. Now, if the old forest was at one point part of Fangorn, that means the old forest went from here all the way across to here. That means that the troll shaws would have been part of the old forest. Parts of the Lone Land would have been part of the old forest, and it would have kept going. So, given that, I'm not sure how accurate it is to say that this was actually part of Fangorn, but it is interesting to think it might have been. We got some players over here. Hello, players. What level are y'all? 22, 17. Probably doing the quest around here too. Another baby bear. Still do not wish to kill the baby bear. There's a lot of baby bears now. Is it a baby? Nope, that's a foraging bear. Okay. It looks like the only thing I need is one more bear haunch, and I'll be done with these. Where are we anyway? I must be running towards Breland? Yeah, that's what it is. I'm running towards Breland. And I'm also at the very edge of the area where I can hunt bears. Which is fine, because that one did it, and now I have everything I need. Oh, excuse me. I will take that. Have we sold anything else today? Nope, not yet. Not since the last time I checked, anyway. And I am happy to say that with selling the ore, we are now over 100 gold. So, definitely moving in the right direction there. I even spent a little gold to expand my vault storage yesterday, which means I actually had more. I had closer to 110 gold. Because it cost me like 4.5 gold for that upgrade, and I think I need like 10 or 15 more gold to finish that off to get 120 slots. Anything after that you have to use mithril on, and if I do things right, I shouldn't have to spend mithril to expand my storage. Even if I'm not allowed to go into my shared storage, which I can't use right now anyway because it's an absolute wreck. Alright, hello people, I have returned, and I have brought the items you asked for.
Hello there.
Adza will be pleased with this delivery. We will salt and smoke the meat, and it will serve as the center of our food for men within the inn. Thank you for taking the time to collect the meat for us. Here, you have earned this reward. Ooh, a whole silver. Oh, thank you. You know, that is probably all she can afford, considering Adzo had some brigand trouble recently.
How can I be of service?
These are excellent samples. I am certain that the taxidermist can make these into fine items befitting a lodge. Adza will be quite pleased. Here is your payment, and thank you for your assistance. And we are not only getting a silver, we're also getting Adzo's axe. Not that I can do anything with Adzo's axe, but it's worth another silver. So, we'll take it.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Look at all this bountiful fare. You certainly held up your end of the bargain well, friend. I shall do the same. The ovens at the inn will smell like the finest ovens in all the Shire. This is a fine day. Well, good day to you. And you would like me to speak to someone else?
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
I must say I never expected the outpouring of generosity we have received. Certainly we have paid for the services we have been given, but the harvest is so great that we have no means to transport our goods to Adzo's camp. I must ask you a small favor. Just outside of Brandy Hill, to the south, There's a stable where I have seen Tully Brockhouse, the local woodcutter, speaking with folks. I'm certain that he will be willing to help. Could you speak with him and see if he could spare a wagon for the trip to Adzo's? Let me know what he said when you're done. Okay. Well, I don't know why you can't get off that barrel and do it yourself, but okay, I will go talk to this person for you. Oh, hello. You have something for me.
Stay and have some tea.
Are you looking for work? Well, it's not much, but maybe you can do me a favor. I inquired about notes on the old forest for Farmer Maggot, and I still have not received them. Perhaps you would be willing to go to his farm and ask him where they may be. If you can find Farmer Maggot's farm, Bamfurlong, in the Mirage. The Marish? That's the green hill country in the Shire, across the Brandywine River. Cross the Brandywine Bridge and turn south on the river road. His farm won't be far away. The Buckberry Ferry would be faster, but the Bounders want no one using it for the moment. Farmer Maggot doesn't like trespassers, but he's a good enough sort when you get to know him. So she wants me to go see Farmer Maggot. Well, since we are right near the Brandywine Bridge, wow, speaking, I swear I can do it. We'll go in here and drop in on Farmer Maggot. Oh, we've stolen enough of his mushrooms this festival anyway. We should at least say howdy to the man. Alright, we're going this way. And oh, and see, you could see across the way. There's Buckland. So I can't remember how the hobbits came to acquire the Shire, but I believe that their bounders, or their version of fighters, did happen to assist the men folk in defending the area, and as a reward they were granted the land that became the Shire. You know, I'm going to have to look that up. And speaking of looking things up, I did find out where that dress that Goldberry is wearing, where I'd seen it. It is very similar to the long sleeve dress of the Spring Maid that was given either this year's Spring Festival or last year's Spring Festival. It's not old. It's less than 3 years old, I think. But that dress looks very similar to what Goldberry's wearing. Not exactly the same, just like the one that the Blue Lady of the Lake in Evandom, her dress and the dress that we got doesn't look exactly the same, but they're close. So, if anybody was interested, that's the cosmetic you would be looking for.
I've no chuck with strangers.
What now? More blasted strangers? Get off my... Oh, Celadine Brandybunk sent you. Well then, I should at least speak fair to you. She sent you to ask about notes? I sent those on a while ago with my son Rollo. His friend Doderick and Wilmac Brandybuck, one of my farmhands. My son wrote those notes because so few other hobbits around here know the old forest at all. He probably stopped off at the inn in Newbury, just inside the hay gate of Buckland. I didn't know there was an inn in Newbury. Likely all three of them are busy carousing rather than doing their duties. If you look for them there, I am certain you can coax the notes from them. So we need to talk to Rollo Maggot, Doderick Brandybuck, or Wilmac Brandybuck in Newbury. Okay. So your son's neglecting his duties, Farmer Maggot. And it's perhaps time to have a talking to him. And, yep. Of course, we still can't cross there. Wonder if they would ever open up the ferry. It seems to me like at a certain point, when you get to... That's loud. When you get to a certain point in the game, the Brandywine ferry should open up for you again. Because I don't think the Hobbits of the Shire would allow that to stay closed forever. Especially when Buckland's right across the way, and they probably have folk living out that way. I do like the music in the game. Okay. Oh, well, here's Wilmac. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear, dear. What happened here?
Please, leave me to my sorrow.
Farmer Maggot sent you. Just what I needed on top of everything else that's happened. As if it weren't enough, the big folk took everything we had to deliver, and that Rollo and Doderick went off on their own.
I hope it's not a bother, but may I speak with you?
Some men from around Bree came to Maggot's demanding food and got run off by the dogs, but as we, Rollo, Doderick, and I, crossed the bridge, we were waylaid by big folks just like him on the bridge. They made us take everything from our wagon and put it on theirs. Then they headed off east along the Great East Road, but not before giving a good licking to Master Maggot's own wagon. Now look at her, all in tatters. I know, I was lucky to get away with my hide, but without the produce being delivered, my hide will be worth nothing after Maggot's got done with me. Doderick and Rollo ran off after the wagon and found that Brigand's camp between here and Adz's camp on the north side of the road. I would appreciate it if you could get the produce back. Alright, so it seems that we are going to go reacquire some goods. And okay. You're doing pretty good, dude. Make sure you didn't want this. Nope, I guess not. I will grab that. And we will head this way. Oh, we're very good with storage right now. And this little one is AFK. So hopefully they are safe enough. Yeah. Just to be sure. I will run by that way on the way back and make sure they're still safe. Right now we need to go... Oh, I remember this place. We had to deal with one of Adzo's problems here. And... oh, look. Is that some produce? Yep. And nary a soul the wiser. So, let's go bring that produce back. Where's the little hobbit? She was around here, wasn't she? Yep, she's still here. And it does look like she may have chosen a good spot. Because it doesn't look like anything's come close to her yet. Okay. Very good. What was that noise? Hey, you making all that noise? Okay. Yeah, I guess that is that. He's a burglar. I really realized burglars made all that noise. Thought they were quiet. But then, burglary is one of the classes that I have had the most trouble adapting to. I would say out of all the classes, I greatly enjoy healer classes, so Minstrel, Runekeeper, and to a lesser extent, Captains. You could put Bjarnings in that too, but I'm not really all that fond of the Bjarning. Alright, Wilmac, I've returned with your produce.
It's terrible! Just terrible!
You found the produce. I cannot thank you enough. I had thought it lost, but now I have other concerns. Rollo and Doderick. Oh no.
Might I trouble you for some help?
I'm worried about Rollo. After he and Doderick got back from looking for the brigands, they headed down towards Brandy Hall to speak with Saradoc, Doderick's uncle. They were none too happy and wanted to speak their minds on the job the Bounders are doing. Now, it's just possible he ran off with his friend Doderick on some lark. I wonder if you'd do me another favor and go over to Brandy Hall and look for Rollo. Brandy Hall is at the center of Buckland, south of the Buckland Gate. Hopefully, Doderick's uncle Saradoc, the master of Brandy Hall, will likely know where those boys have run off to. Alright, so we need to go. I think I showed this already. It's a nice hill. Yes. Very nice hill. With a lot of nice little houses. And a town hall. So here we are at Brandy Hall. Look, all these nice little houses lining it. Very cute, very cute. And the chickens. Very cute indeed. Alright, but we're not here to gawk at the scenery. We are here to go find a gentleman by the name of Saradoc Brandybuck. Hello.
What do you need?
Maggot's farmhand sent you about Rollo? Then the boys did not heed my advice and followed their own wills. The fools.
Might I speak with you a moment?
It's strange you should be asking after Rollo, especially at this moment. The tweens came to see me, upset by the lack of effort the Bounders are doing here in Buckland with regard to the strange big folk moving about. I told them the Bounders were doing all they could to keep the unsavory lot out of Buckland, but the pair were adamant about being heard and kept yammering on about the old forest. I warned them to stay clear of the old forest because Tolly, our woodcutter, said that things there are queerer than ever. Tweens can be foolish, and I fear that the pair have been more foolish than normal. Doderick knows his way to Bald Hill, and not much further. If you're going to be looking for Rollo, you'd best start with Doderick, and you might as well tell him that I'm waiting for him, too. Alright, so, it looks like the lads may have headed down into the old forest. And they say hobbits don't go on adventures. Well, most hobbits don't go on adventures. And going into the old forest is probably as adventurous as these hobbits have ever been. So where are we headed? That's a nice little pond down here. I think we're going the... Are we going the wrong way if we go here? I think we are. As you can see, there's several gates in this hedge, and they're all closed because, you know, it's probably wise to keep your defenses closed when you're not sure what's going on the other side of them. But we did go the wrong way, and we need to head up this way. There's our stable. Now I know we're going the right way. Or are we? We are. Because here is Tolly Brockhouse.
Just a moment.
Trumick Cragwort needs a wagon. I suppose I could spare a wagon and a couple of mules to share the load towards the camp. Trumick is a good fellow and will surely return them when he is done. With the trouble we are seeing in the old forest, it seems unlikely that I will have need of all my wagons in the foreseeable future. Tell Trumick that I will send along a driver, 2 mules, and a wagon by sundown on the morrow. I should expect that he can have it back to me within a week, and if you are looking to help out around here, there's plenty to do. Alright, so... Well, let's go tell Trumick the good news. Because the poor fella seems to have had enough trouble for one day. And I'm sure hearing something nice would be a change of pace. Boy, that must be quite the heavy load she's carrying on her shoulder. Oh. Where are you? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
How do you do?
Tully will help us? This is wonderful news. We will begin preparing the crates for loading and should get on the road by morning. And be careful going up the road. There are some brigands there. We truly could not have done this without you, friend. Please take this. It should cover the cost of travels and a little more. I'm concerned for Tully, though. What trouble could there be in the old forest? Oh. Okay. So, now we have better tools. How sweet. And like I said, once again, LOTRO community is very kind and generous, and these will give us, well, we will gather our ore faster. That's always good. And we'll have a slightly better chance of critical successes on cooking and jeweler. Now, speaking of cooking, I guess I'm going to have to break down and ask somebody if they could farm up some items for me, because try as I might, there is hardly any cooking supplies that you can find scattered about the landscape. I've found a couple of cabbages, a couple of potatoes, a couple of rhubarb, some strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and even a few green onions. But no onions, no carrots, not enough potatoes to do anything with. So, oh, and definitely no spring barley. So I guess I am going to have to resort to asking around until I can find a farmer that will help me out, and hopefully they won't charge me the moon.
Please, stay a moment.
These are strange days. Most hobbits stay away from the old forest, but my living depends on it, and I've never had any problems till now. The forest creatures have all gone strange. I swear the tree roots themselves moved to trip me up, and now I've sprained my ankle. I still need to collect some mushrooms. They grow in the west part of the forest between Bonfire Glade and Bald Hill. Also, please bring me some lumber from my seasoning pile. The pile is to the east part in the Bonfire Glade and a little south, and I need some sap from the old maple on Bald Hill, east of the Bonfire Glade. I'll gladly split my fee with you. Here, take my bucket for the sap, and thank you kindly. Oh, and we have a whole bunch of other hobbits that we need to talk to.
Could I take a moment of your time?
The bears of the old forest have always been dangerous, but in the past they were not very aggressive and could be avoided. Now they are roaming all over the place and may even come out of the forest to threaten Buckland if they aren't stopped. There is a tunnel through the high hay east of here. So they call this the high hay, this hedge.
Might I have a word with you?
The bats of the old forest have been a minor annoyance in the past, but of late they have grown very aggressive and even dangerous. They could become a plague in Buckland, so we need to reduce their numbers before that happens. There's a tunnel through the high hay east of here. Okay. Are we all going to say that?
Please stay a moment.
Wolves in the old forest have always been something of a threat to foresters and woodsmen, but they've recently become more dangerous and aggressive. We don't want them coming into Buckland, so it would be best to hunt them down now in the old forest itself. There's a tunnel through the high hay east of here. So, we have wolves, bats, and bears to contend with, as well as finding some items for Tully Brockhouse there. And oh, that's right, we still need to light some or put some jars of substance out that are supposed to chase off the animals. And yeah, we have a lot to do in the old forest now. I think we will pick up on that. See, I promised you skirmishes tomorrow, so we'll do that. And we will pick up on these on Saturday. Okay. But until then, bye for now.